time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them lang loji now you got them bongolo. Long time got them lang loji now you got them bongolo. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them dirty dam now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam now you got them concrete road. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them jug lamp now you got them electric light. Long time got them jug lamp now you got them electric light. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them broad bottom now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom now you got them tight straight. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them broad churia now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia now you got them bamboo jai. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time full bucket water now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water now you got them overhead. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. Long time got them old man now you got them young guys. Long time got the old man now you got them young guys. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time. This time na long time this na day before time.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the Dinesh Jabrishad Show. And I'm very happy to be here with you once again to share more information as to what really is happening in Needs Berbice quarantine, what is happening in Guyana. I must say that for the past weeks we have been creating an impact in the Guyanese society whereby people are commending us all the programs that we are having for doing a good work in terms of educating the population as to what really is happening as it relates to politics in Guyana. I must say special words of welcome to all of you who have taken time off from your busy schedule to be here, tuning on to 107.1 FM every night for the various programs so that you can be filled with the necessary information that will cause you to make the right choice when the time is appropriate. So tonight's program will be a very good one like the others. And joining me tonight is an individual who is no stranger to Guyana, a member of parliament, a wonderful individual who have served in many capacity. She is an educator, and now she is serving as member of parliament. Very young and vibrant young woman who has been representing the cause of female across this country. But before I bring her on, I must say our sympathies and condolences to the relative and friends of the late Visheshwar Kami Ramsarup, stalwart in the PNC, someone who has been very vibrant in reshaping PNCR. He passed a few days ago, and we know that It is a big blow to Guyana. He served as minister, former minister for housing and vice president, and so very, very hardworking, was a very hardworking PNC member. We know that the good work that he has done will cause God to take good care of his soul. So, so much on that. Welcome again to all the brothers and sisters listening via radio or on social media, Facebook. Welcome to 107.1. I must say thanks to Mark Benchop for affording me the opportunity so that I can be able to do this work that you want me to do. As I indicated in many programs before, I am the servant of the people. What you want me to do, that is what I will come here and do. And so far, you want me to represent you, and that is very, very important for me to be given that privilege to represent the people of East Berbice Curtin. I want you to send information to me as to what really is happening in the villages, pictures, videos. You send them, make contact with me, so that I will be able to discuss it at this forum and any other forum. So as we go on with the program, I will give you the necessary information so that you can filter down information to me so that I can represent your cause in a more effective manner. So welcome to Miss Nima Flubes. She's from Mocha Al and a very, very wonderful individual who will share the next 50 minutes with us. Welcome, Miss Nima. How are you tonight?
I'm good. A pleasant good evening to you, Dineshwar. A pleasant good evening to all the viewers on the show. I must say thank you to Mark Benchcop for allowing us to be on his platform tonight to deliberate on matters that are really, really important to us as a people and how we can continue to work together to ensure that we continue to keep the fight up against this installed PPPC regime.
Thank you. Welcome. So viewers, listeners, we know tonight program will be a spicy one, and we take it from here. So, Miss Nima, permit me to call you Nima MP. Tell us a little bit about your constituency, place where you live, and how it has been going there so far.
Okay, thank you, Dineshwar. I am from the community of Mocha Arcadia on the east bank of the Amawaro. It's a farming community. As a member of parliament, my responsibility is for communities from Eccles to Moblissa, that's on the east bank of the Amawaro. And thus far, I can tell you I've visited almost all of my communities in the area, interacted with residents as I go along, would have addressed several issues that they would have been highlighting. And it's not only about addressing issues, but also being a motivator to the residents, to the persons that you visit, because we know that we are living and existing in challenging times under this regime. And when you go to visit and you interact with people, there's several issues that they face with, whether they are terminated, whether it's a high cost of living to provide for the families, whether it is that they're having issues generally in their community that may be controlled by the PPP administration at the NDC, and so they decide there at that level that one section of the community will be treated with a certain broomstick while the others will be treated with another stick. And so when you go to communities and you visit, and you interact with people, you listen to their frustrations, their concerns, and all that they continue to tell you about what is happening to them. And so, as a member of parliament, I would engage them, I would represent them. I've attended several NDC meetings, their statutory meetings, to be a voice for the people. And like you would have started by encouraging persons to send information and share information with you. And tonight, I want to encourage the viewers, wherever you are, the politics is not only the national level, but politics is also happening in the local level in your communities. And we cannot be at all the communities the same time. And because of that, we rely on you to send us the necessary information. So I trust tonight that your viewers will be encouraged to be active in their communities and to send information as it regards to what is happening on the ground. And so there you have it about me, Dinesh.
Thank you very much. Indeed, that's a wonderful piece. So Nima Fu Best, MP, giving us a little biodata, basic information as to her constituency, and she is working in a very populated area, and this is the kind of work that we young politicians are engaged in. We are visiting all the communities, interacting with the people, listening to them, and we know that they are taking us very seriously. So, MP Nima, tonight we want to look at a few topics that are very much pertinent to what is happening in Guyana. And firstly, we will touch a little bit on COVID. I see that the numbers going up every day. We are 570 plus, and still this administration is not coming forward to say to us, the opposition, that here what happened. Let us sit at the round table and let us see what can be done. Up to now, we have not been invited to be part of the task force. And we know we have competent people. We know we have competent people who can give some remedy and solution to what really is happening with this pandemic. And what is your take on what is happening with regards to this number growing every day?
My take with COVID-19 in Guyana, I would like us to go back to prior to August 2nd, 2020. We had a plan, a working plan under the coalition in managing, disseminating information. You were updated with information as to what is happening, steps that persons should be taken to help to protect themselves and family during this pandemic. After August 2nd, everything went AWOL. Why? Because the PPPC installed regime does not have any proper plan in place to deal with the pandemic. You look at all that is happening currently. We start, one, the death toll going up. Two, two or three news clipping was shared about children being affected with COVID in Guyana. Because I do my research and I keep following it up. As a teacher, it's important that you are aware of what is happening. They have done just about two or three news report clipping about COVID-19 and children in Guyana. Now, bloops, you're hearing about vaccination for children. No form of education, no form of involvement, no form of getting the population involved in what is happening. And most importantly, like you would have said, my comrade, they have not engaged the opposition in this serious matter, which, when it comes to our health, should not be dealt with at a political football or a political level. This COVID-19 is a fight for all Guyanese. Every one of us should be
Exactly.
involved in
Yeah.
that. And that is
So
very,
true.
very
Exactly.
important. We're
Coming
not
back,
seeing
coming
that.
back to that, coming back to that, Nima, I want to emphasize that the educational aspect of the COVID-19 is failing tremendously. People are not sensitized as to what really happening with regards to COVID. Not all the news outlets are giving the stats on a daily basis. It used to happen, but because the numbers are getting beyond control, out of control, they do not want the population to see what really is happening. So that is being restricted basically. We are having it on social media, but in news outlet, and this is for the news people to take note of. It is your duty to give the population a day-to-day analysis of what really is happening on about COVID-19, right? And we know that they don't have a plan. We had a 6 to 6 curfew plan, MP Best,
Yeah.
and this administration changed that to 10:30 to 4:30, I think. And now they want to impose the mandatory vaccination. If we had continue the 6 to 6 curfew, restricting movement and socialization and these gatherings and so, we would have been able to reduce the spread. But the minute they move that curfew to 10:30, gives the businessmen ample time to encourage people to do more shopping and socialization. And we were told that Chamber of Commerce for Joshong Chamber of Commerce. I think that it is alleged that the chairperson wrote a letter stating that why is it that only a few connected and associated business and nightclubs with certain individuals are giving preference to operate long hours, and most of the other businesses have to close off by um, 10 o'clock or 9:30 or whatever. I was reliably informed today that New Zealand got a case. New Zealand, the country New Zealand, got a new case of COVID, and the people shut down. They shut down the entire nation because of one case. And this is sending a message to us. The lives of the people are very much important. Come on, government. You need to be more proactive rather than saying that, before you go to GPL or the region or the GRA, you must take out a green book, which is the COVID pass, and show that. No, come on. If you want to make vaccine mandatory, let it come from top down. Shut down the country and give everybody if you want to do that. But do not handpick. Do not handpick and say those working there must have and those working there. And we see what is happening. We see what is happening as it relates to this vaccine being forced upon workers and Guyanese and so forth. So we know that there isn't a plan, basically. There isn't a plan. If there was a plan, then we could have, worked things out. So, MP Nima, in
Yes.
your area there, what are the perception of the people? What they are saying about this, restricting them to go to have services at the hospital and police and all these places without a COVID booklet?
Dinesh, let me tell you, any right thinking Guyanese who's right thinking will recognize that that is absolute nonsense. You're telling the citizens of this country that they must be vaccinated before they can be served, and a government is supposed to serve and provide for the people services, social services, health services, and all these things. Now, if this installed PPPC regime had a plan, a proper plan, they would have engaged the relevant people because you're making decisions that will affect people like vaccine is not a government choice. To be vaccinated is not a government choice. It is a personal choice. People have to make that choice for themselves. What has this installed regime done to ensure that every Guyanese are properly educated and informed about the vaccines that they have listed? I know when I looked at the gazette that they issued on the 29th of July, they had about 8 vaccines listed. But when you visit the Ministry of Health website, I want to challenge all our viewers tonight. You go and check on Guyana Ministry of Health website, and you see how much information do they have about these said vaccines that were officially gazetted in the Gazette for Guyanese people. You go and check, you will see one set of information. They have not spent time educating people. We're not living in slavery. We're not living in an uneducated time. We're living in a technological age, and people are well educated and informed. And if the government wants the population to be taking this vaccine as they're trying to play bullies, they're trying to be bullies by putting all these rules in place and telling persons they cannot access the service. I'd say to our Guyanese people, don't accept it. Speak out and stand up against it. It is wrong. It is wrong. You cannot force something on people without educating people, just like what they're going to do with the school children. You bring in a vaccine to give people, you have not tell them what are the side effects and all of that. And to boot, Dinesh, those vaccines were approved by World Health Organization on the emergency use listing. And if you read the World Health Organization details, these manufacturers are expected to keep collecting data and keep submitting data and keep doing their research before any of these vaccines are finally given the full green light for persons to take. So I'm saying to my Guyanese people, my fellow Guyanese, do not be fooled, do not be bullied, do not be pushed into taking a vaccine. When you feel that you're comfortable and you're well informed and you think that you can take it, then you can take the vaccine. Don't let this government do you that. Don't accept it from them. And
Well
I'm very
said.
serious about that.
I want to challenge our viewers as well. Get on to United States and Canada and UK. These are, democratic nations who hold human rights as paramount. And you will find out there that at no way US, Canada, or UK are imposing that every citizen must by law. They are giving the people a choice. I hear that they are giving a stipend. Who take it? You're having some US and so forth incentives. You know, it means then that we are saying that all vaccines are very much important, but let it be the choice of the people. There are some individuals who will not take it. There are some individuals who genuinely have medical conditions. There are some individuals who have their religious beliefs, and to force something on them, it's against human rights convention basically. So that's the COVID
I would like
situation.
I would like
Please,
to add
yes,
something
go
to
ahead.
that, Dinesh, if you don't mind. You
Go
know,
ahead.
what our Guyanese people need to do is to stand up and speak out. You cannot sit down idly by and let your body be used as a guinea pig. You got to know what is going in your body. Vaccines are very, very serious. I'm very passionate about this particular issue because when you sit down and think of the possibility, you know, I mean, how many unanswered questions are out there? What about a person who's taking a particular medication? What are the implications of taking this particular vaccine or that particular vaccine? That question has not been answered. How will it affect persons who have underlying conditions, whether it be hypertension, diabetes, and all of these? There's so many underlying questions that needs to be answered, and this installed regime needs to do it. They need to answer the questions, not force people to take the vaccines.
Exactly. So our thing on the vaccine is to get your medical advice. Let your physician, your doctor advise you on the way forward before you force yourself into something that you don't want to. So um Miss Nima, we want to discuss a little bit on the flood situation as it relates to the flood relief. And I must say, brothers and sisters in Guyana, brothers and sisters in Berbice, Region 6, there are some individuals going around in the community to assess what you have lost. And today I was informed that these individuals are not going to people who made the reports. They have a list that they are looking at. Some individuals whose name were on the list were struck out. I am calling on the Minister for Agriculture. Please get to the NDC and verify the names of these individuals who lodged their complaint from day one. Do not come with an alter list that does not reflect the true reports and complaints made by the individuals from the villages. Um, in my area, two individuals had to search for the people to say that they are not going to their area. This should not have been so. You know who have made reports, and the community know who lost whatever. People have been suffering, and if these individuals are agents working for the state, let them do whatever they have to do to the best of their ability. Let them do the correcting. Let them do the correcting by visiting all the homes to ensure that who have experienced any loss be compensated. So, how is your area recovering from the flood?
Well, Dinesh, I can tell you the flood has affected all the farmers on the east bank of the Moaro. I visited several communities. We have farming communities like Moka. In the case of Moka, it wasn't just the flood, but it was a canal that is being blocked, that's blocked by the government, still blocked, with two tubes that is placed there to drain the entire farmlands. Up to today, number 3 canal, the water was extremely high. And I'm very troubled to think about the waters that is on the land. I'm actually a farmer too. We have farm in the community. And everything, every single thing though, everything went underwater. You go to Sarah Johanna, people do farming there, the same problem they have. You go down to Friendship, there's a co-op there, the same issue they have. The flood, the water would have covered everything. The sad thing about it, the nation or viewers, is that there are a number of persons who depend wholly and solely on farming. And could you imagine the devastation they are going through to recognize that they have lost everything? They have children to feed, they still have their bills to pay and everything, and your livelihood was taken away. Now, I would believe that a government, a caring government, would have taken all of that into consideration to ensure that relief reached to these individuals in the shortest possible time. Relief is given to these people. Many of the farmers who interact with them, they're still wondering, what help will they get for all the cattle that they will lose, if they can get back anything to restart the farming. They're wondering if they will be getting seeds, plants, anything that would help them to recover from the flood. But I don't have answers for the farmers. All I would say to them, they have to work together with each other and hope that this regime will pay some interest in what is happening. You know, is it to be the bread basket of the Caribbean? You're supposed to get enough food for your people on the ground and people outside. And if you don't have food for your people, how can you be helping others? There's
Exactly.
so much that needs to be done to help our people. Like you would have mentioned, people were going around doing surveys, finding out from people what's happening and all of that. I personally have witnessed all the crops. I remember going to a particular farm and seeing over 200 bunch of planting in water. And the sad thing about it, the plant is just burst out. So, they got nothing there that you could take from it to even salvage to cook. Now we have a regime and an installed regime because they operate as an installed regime. You can't doubt about it. Look at the actions and it tells you that they're installed. No care, no grace, nothing about the people of Guyana, the average man that has to survive. Now, look, what time or when do they plan to bring this money, the crops, the plants, whatever it is, to give these farmers relief? I'm waiting, like my farmers, we're waiting to see when will the relief come to the people. When will this relief come to the people of Guyana? And that's
Exactly.
why we need to stand up and speak out. That's why we need
Exactly.
to stand up and speak out. You sit quietly in the back in your farm and you don't come out and say nothing, nobody will know. You sit quietly in the back and murmur, oh, the government is doing, nobody's doing anything for me. But you have not come out to say, MP or whoever it is, this is what's happening in the back, we need help. You have to bring the information out so that you can receive the necessary help and so people can understand what you're going through as a farmer
Exactly.
and how you've been devastated by the floods. Very, very
Yeah.
important.
And I want to share with our viewers that you can report this at the NDC level and the RDC level. We have counselors in every NDC everywhere. And I'm saying opposition counselors. You reach out to these counselors and give them the report. Take the report to the NDC. Let it be registered that you have lost X, Y, and Z. You know, and so that when the relief comes, you will be able to receive. You rightly said, Miss Bess, MP Bess, that these individuals, many of them, depend on the farm to feed the family, and provide all the necessities of life. Their farm is destroyed, basically. It is the duty of the government. It is the duty of the government, any government, to subsidize and help these individuals. You know, in other countries, when things like this happen, people are giving incentives.
Mhm.
COVID hit the United States, and people were giving incentives. You know, and we have a flood. that took away almost everything from some individuals. Um, and the state, the government of the day is not actually, budging as to what really will be the relief measures for the people. Um, so to the viewers everywhere, if you have your concern, if you see that they are bypassing you and they are not taking information from you, basically, we know that they do not care for the poor man. That is
Mhm.
the bottom line. Business open, and who own a business? Poor man don't no any business, right? So I am saying to you, make your representation. Let your voice be heard. If you got to go to the NDC, if you got to make a Facebook post, if you got to call, and if you got to say it, if you got to come out on the road and say it, whatever you have to do, you have to let your voices be heard so that the people will know that all of us are being affected throughout this country. And with that being said, I want to say that we know that some areas are giving more preference than other. We want this to stop. If you are sharing in an area, let it be for everybody. Do not handpick. Give everyone that you have to look after so that fingers will not be pointed. Fingers will not be pointed at you. I want to say to all our brothers and sisters, um, it is time that we take a step in terms of voicing our concern. It has been a year of mismanagement, a year of negligence, a year of discrimination, and let us voice our concern. Let us come out and say whatever we have to say so that the message that we carry will be far and wide. So,
Uh,
Miss, yes, go.
yes, Dinesh. I'm looking at the comments of our viewers, some of the viewers as they go along. We have a protest every Wednesday from 12 to 1, a peaceful protest at Coffee. And that would be the perfect opportunity to see how many more persons will come out. It has been growing gradually, week after week, persons are coming out. We have issues at the community level. We have issues at the national level. We have issues that continue to affect us, whether you want to pay attention to it or not. It affects all of us. You have widespread discrimination against Afro-Guyanese. You have widespread discrimination against people that are perceived to be APNU, AFC coalition supporters. We see all of this happening. If you sit in your house and give all the speech, all the comments, and you don't get up and put your shoulders, as our older folks would say, put your shoulders to the wheels and let's stand up, speak out, and make our voices heard, nothing will happen. We see 1 year in office, and if you look, it looked like a repeat of 23 years unfolded in 1 year, a repeat of what Guyana went through for 23 long years under the stressful PPP regime. They've come back now, bring back some of the same old ministers who are seasoned in discriminating against people, in not observing people human rights. They've brought them right back there. And what do you expect? They have learned nothing new. They didn't understand what it is for social cohesion and all of that under the coalition for the 4 years that we've actually served there as a government. They didn't pay attention to anything, but they come back with this bitterness, this vendetta to affect our people. And we as a people have to stand up and speak out. We have to. If we continue to sit idly by, what we saw in the last year, like I said, the unfolding of what happened in Guyana in 23 years, could you imagine what life will be for the average Guyanese if we allow these people to continue the way they are? Come on, viewers. Come on, Guyanese people. We cannot allow that. We cannot allow that.
So true, Nima. Indeed, a year, it has been a tough year for Guyanese. A tough year. Cost of living out of control. cost of living, I cannot say going up. It's out of control. Two, COVID, mismanagement of COVID. People still have pink slips. Three, mismanagement of flood. Vaccine, imposition of vaccine. So many things happening.
Firing
Escalation
up
in
of
crime.
people. Yeah.
Escalation in crime. Road fatalities, accident. Um, hike in COVID deaths and infection. Drug, increase in drug in the country. Um, robbery. So basically, we are getting back to the 23 years. As you rightly said, it has been a 1 year of, the trailer. When you go to cinema back in the days, and you
Yep.
have a few minutes of the actual thing that will be coming, the trailer, as we say. So basically, this is what is happening to us here. We have had a year of total mismanagement and discrimination. And
And you're
we are
correct.
saying this, that most of our supporters were sent home.
Yes.
Most African individuals were sent home. Um, the pressure is on the public service. Most African brothers and sisters are in the public service. So it's a direct action, it's a deliberate action towards our African brothers and sisters. And it is not supposed to be so. I am saying that we are all Guyanese. It is not right for us to, every government, when you take office, you discriminate against this one or that one or whatever. People need to take note of what David Arthur Granger did when he was president. Many PS and deputy PS were still loyal. We know who they were loyal to. He didn't take them out. He didn't change them, you know. And the records show he came on board and said that you have to work. And that is what we need to take seriously. If an individual is performing his or her duty, then do not brand him for political affiliation or because he looked like someone who is supporting the coalition up to AFC. No, people have their democratic rights to practice their religion and politics. That is in our constitution.
So
Do
true.
not step on that. You're stepping over the boundaries as it relates to human rights. So, Miss Nima, you have anything else to say about what really is happening in Guyana? Do you like to? While you're
The-
thinking, I want to say
yeah.
that in Region 6 we have staged a series of peaceful demonstration. Lancaster had one, 53 Union had one today. Our brothers and sisters are coming out on the road to air their concern, make their voices be heard. It doesn't matter if you're 10 or 15 or 20. You come out there peacefully and do what you have to do so that it sends a message to Guyanese, it sends a message to the diaspora, it sends a message to US and UK, everyone, because we know that the Facebook is being used to send these information, these activities everywhere. And in doing this, this will register. This will register in the minds of Guyanese and non-Guyanese as well. Um, it is our duty. It is our duty to say when we are not satisfied and when we feel discriminated and when we feel hurt. We have to do that. We have to do that. Yes, Miss
Yes.
Am.
Yes, Dinesh. On what's happening in our country. Let me start from the COVID-19 relief cash grant, the 25,000. I have been collecting names every day from individuals who sign up for the pink slip. They were never given the pink slip. The team revisited the area and they're distributing the 25,000 to selected people, selected few. I have a message from an elderly woman who told me she was a widow and she was going through a lot of difficulties and she was waiting for this 25,000. When the people came back, she still didn't get this 25,000. I've tracked the distribution team from Eccles straight to Mary already as the rep for the area to see exactly what's going on. And it is literally you have a team of people who go and handpick who they want to give this 25,000 to. They're not serving in the interest of the Guyanese people. The 25,000, as far as I remember, and you, Dinesh, would remember when we went into Parliament, we said that the 25,000 is so much money for the households. That's not what we said, Dinesh. That's exactly what we said. We didn't say
Exactly.
that the 25,000 will go to Pam household and Sam household and Harry household or whatever it is, or Jai Prasad household and all of that. When we sat in the Parliament, we approved the money for all households and we expected that those persons
Exactly.
will receive the money.
Receive.
Today,
Yes.
we still got people sitting on hope that this 25,000 will actually reach to their home. And we know it ain't gonna reach. I've been looking for the COVID team. I know they were in Eccles at one time. Up to now, I can't locate them yet. To find out from them, I got a list of names. They would have visited a number of communities, but yet still there are persons in that community who signed up for the pink slip and they did not receive the money. And the leaders for these groups, some of them, I tell you, they belong to Pigpen. They belong to Pigpen because they don't even know how to speak to the people and interact with the people. We continue to see the discrimination against all of the different services that are being offered to Guyanese people. And like I've been saying from the beginning of this show, we have to stand up against what is happening to our people on the ground. There's several ways to stand up. There's several things we can do to ensure that our voices are heard. And most importantly, we cannot continue to have people violating our basic human rights. We have a freedom of choice. All of us have a freedom of choice. No government have the right to trample on your freedom of choice. None. The government have a responsibility to provide for its citizens, and we expect that the citizens of Guyana will receive their due. Well, of course, we are dealing with an installed government, so they operate as though they're really installed because a government that was duly elected will serve in the interest of the people. And we're calling on this administration to serve the people of Guyana. Serve the people of Guyana in all areas. That is what we expect. We don't expect this continuous discrimination and blatant disregard for people's basic human rights and the things they have to do. And that's what I want to say to our viewers tonight. You're in Guyana. I'm looking out to some of you on the square tomorrow to see how many of you will come out to share your concern. You could write your own placard and bring it. You could write your own placard about a particular issue, and you could walk with it also on the square and you stand up there because you want people to recognize that you will not sit idly by and allow what is happening to you just be covered down in a bucket. We cannot live like that. This is troubling times. This is serious times. Over to you,
Well said.
Dinesh.
Yeah, well said. Indeed, indeed, that is well said. And we want our brothers and sisters to know that the coalition APNU AFC is standing by your side. We know that more than half of the population voted strongly for us, and we will represent you at all levels. But I want you to take serious note of what is happening at your community level, your region, and nationally. Um, Sooner rather than later, we will be having local government election and so, and then we will be having general election. You must be very cognizant of what is happening in your village. There will be no election without a new voters list and so forth. Don't get to that. But I'm saying be more cognizant of what is happening in your community. You own your community, not someone else owns it. You are responsible for what happens there to an extent. So you must play a very important role in ensuring that the services reach the community. And I'm saying if you know that Street A was not built for so many years, then the people living in Street A need to air their concern. People living in Street B, you must go lodge your complaint, make the representation, post it up, let people see that for 10, 15, 20 years you have been in this state, and you call on the government to ensure that services are being given to these community. I am saying that we all need to have vision,
Yes, we all
have
do.
a vision, have a goal. You know, I am saying that we all need to be responsible to an extent. Today, Nima, a teacher was saying to me that, sir, what we get in this year. So I said, what? What we getting what? He said, man, what pay we getting? Pay increase. So, it was a big laugh after that. Few of us, crack it up. Because we know that we have experienced two budgets,
And nothing.
2020 budget and 2021 budget. And nothing is being said about public servants. Nothing is being said for teachers, for nurses, for police, GDF, general public servants, and these are the people, I must register it tonight. These are the people who are pay as you earn. PAYE, pay as you earn. These are the people, the teachers, the police, the nurses, the GDF, general public servants. These are the people who pay the bulk of taxes every single month from their salary. There are some teachers who pay taxes more than some big, big, big businessmen in this country, right? There are some public servants who are paying taxes on an annual basis more than people who practice in private and make millions. But these individuals who are feeling the squeeze are not being properly compensated, and no bonus, no salary increase has been given to them for two budgets. I am saying, I am saying that we need to say it so that Guyanese will be able to understand that the public servant salary, the public servant taxes are what used to make schools. The taxes from the public servants, that is what are used to make roads. The taxes from the public servants are what stock the hospital. Yet, all our brothers and sisters in this country send their children to school, walk on the same road, receive medical attention from the hospital. There isn't any discrimination to say that the bulk of the tax is coming from these people, and there's a restriction that who not paying tax should not receive the service. No, all of us go to the hospital and receive the service. Yet, all of us are not contributing to the development of the hospital. This is not fair. I want
Not
this
fair.
message to register. I want this to register because we have been hearing a lot of gossips, people not working and this is not. And I'm saying that the people who are facing the blunt of the taxes are being discriminated against,
Yeah,
you
so
know.
true.
So I'm calling upon the administration. You know what I am speaking about. Please, a businessman who is making so much, I am challenging that businessman. Find them. Escobar, Demerara, Borbis, Georgetown. Anyway, find them. And we will show you that a little teacher boy or a little nurse girl paying more taxes than them on a monthly and annual basis. Yet, you know, we want to say A, B, and C about public servants. So I am calling upon the government. You know what is happening? Give the people their dues. It was budgeted for. You say you have it on the head. I can remember when the Honorable Sonia Parag was being questioned. She said that it is there for the union to come and to negotiate. But where is the money? If it was under some head, then would the head hide? We can't find him. Let the money come out and give the people, because it has been two budgets now. We are hearing some song being sung about December something coming. Why until December? Bring it now and give the people so that they can have, a bright November and December. There's a smart move, Nima. When the thing
Yeah,
comes in December, it take it back. We know how it
tax
goes.
it.
You know
Tax it deep.
the business community take it back. You know.
Yep.
So, brothers and sisters, it has been a wonderful 52 minutes so far. Nima, any closing statements?
Yes, Dinesh. I must let our Guyanese people know. I'm reading the comments. I see one person said time for protest is over. I would like to see what other suggestions you have. You should share your suggestions. We're here to listen, and we're here to make things happen. We're here to represent the interests of our people. I want to say to our public servants, actually, if you think about it, Ganesh, the government cannot function without the public servants. They cannot function without the public servants. The policemen that they're using to terrorize people and the securities that they have walking around them and all these things, they're public servants. The PS are public servants. All these people are public servants. However, the respect is not given to the people that deserve it. Our teachers, we work tirelessly. COVID has really been a challenge. So when you would have been accustomed to standing in the classroom from 9 to 3 o'clock, working with your students or whatever teaching time you have, when you're on Zoom, we have such lovely internet service in Guyana. You might start your class at one time and it won't finish until hours after, or the class buffering, and so the teacher got to be there, working long hours into the night to help the students to reach the level that they have to reach. But yet still, this installed regime does not see it fit for our teachers and our public servants to be duly awarded for the long and outstanding service that they do. But don't lose heart. I say to our public servants, don't lose heart. We have to fight. We got to get up and stand up for our rights. We cannot sit down and allow all of this to continue to happen to our people. We must stand up and speak out. And like I said, there are several ways, several avenues we can do. The beauty about social media is that if something happens and nobody's there to immediately take whatever they have to take the information, you can post it, you can send it to somebody, you can send it to any of the MP and make contact and let us represent your interests. That's our work. We're here to represent the people. And in closing, I want to say to all of our viewers, if you're living in a community, be involved in your community. If they have an NDC, attend the meeting. Don't let them tell you they can't attend. You could attend, but you can't speak unless they give you permission to. Write letters. It helps because you have information there to say that, Street X wasn't done so long. We've been writing letters. You have to ensure that you start documenting these things. Don't say that the community interest is not your business. It's your business, because if the wrong set of people are placed at the helm to manage the affairs of your community, they will affect you. They wouldn't clean your drains. They wouldn't assist with your carpets, the disposal of your garbage and all of that. So you're in your community. I'm encouraging you, get involved, write a letter, engage with people, talk to all the councillors and find out what is it that is going on, what needs to be done, why is it not being done. When people have to be accountable, they will take a different side, they wouldn't want to speak. But if you make them accountable, they have to be accountable. And so I want to encourage our viewers tonight. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to encourage you to continue to stand for your right. I want to thank Dinesh and Mr. Benchka for this opportunity to be on your show and to share with the viewers all that is happening. You can feel free to contact me. I have my own page, the Honorable Nima Flubes, Member of Parliament. I also have a little show on Saturday mornings from 11 to 11:30, where I also highlight all the issues that are happening on the East Bank and in Region 4 and also in the country nationally. And you can feel free to contact me at any time, message me, and trust me, I will respond to you. And thank you once again, Ganesh. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Nima Flubes, Member of Parliament, who has been wonderful tonight. I must say that based on the comments coming, that we have done well. So thank you for affording me the opportunity to have you on my show. And I know that this is not the first and last. You will be here soon, and so that we can continue to share with our brothers and sisters in Guyana and around the world, and especially those on 107.1, so that they can be educated as to what really is happening. Special thanks to Mark Benchop for affording me time every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, and so that I can be able to share as to what is happening in Guyana, in Barbados, in Region 6, as it relates to politics. So thank you very much. God bless. Good night. See you next week.
This time na lang time, this time na lang time, this na day before time. This time na